Before we get into today's video, I wanted to talk about one of the best ways to save money on Evony packs. We all know that buying packs is the best way to turbocharge your growth, and it's always better to save money while getting the same rewards. US customers can get 25% back on all Evony purchases made through the Amazon App Store. To take advantage of this awesome deal, follow 3 simple steps. Number 1, install the Amazon App Store on your Android device or BlueStacks emulator. 2, download Evony through the Amazon App Store. And 3, purchase packages in Evony to get 25% back in Amazon coins. Additionally, this time, Amazon has provided a mechanism to pre-register to avoid any payment issues. The link is in the description of the video. I've also put the link to this website in the description of the video. This website includes QR codes to download and buy Amazon coins and an in-depth set of instructions on how to get Amazon App Store set up. Make sure to take advantage of this amazing deal while it lasts. Hello everyone, welcome back to Optimize Evony. I wanted to do a video today on the new family group feature announcement. This has kind of been, depending on who you ask, a long-awaited feature or completely useless, depending on how it's actually implemented. But to give some people some context on why this was requested and what's kind of going on with this is this was something that was brought up in the dev call between some of the CoinStrike leaders and the developer representative. I don't think they're actually a developer, but they had floated the idea of having a limited number of uh, accounts that you could kind of claim as yours, and then you could transfer resources, do any of that kind of stuff on between those accounts. That's what it was in theory. Let's actually read through and understand what it is and what it isn't. So basically, it allows you to create a link in a family group with other players, and you can join, accept invitations from other players, but you can only be in one family group ever, it seems like. Once created, the group cannot be deleted, and the link between accounts and group members cannot be removed. So this means that essentially, if you create a link between your account and an alt, or some other account, some family member account, uh, even if you no longer want that account to be linked together, you cannot remove it. So you have to be careful on what you actually link together, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. And then each member will start with one slot, and you can basically, as you invite more members based on your VIP level, you can actually increase that number. So by default, it starts at 1 and then it goes up from there. This is something that we'll have to wait a little bit more on the different levels, but it seems like it's tiered, where like 16 through 18 gets 3 family members, so to speak. 19 through 22 gets 4 family members, and VIP 23 plus gets 5. I don't know where it kind of tiers down from there. And most of this information I have been getting from other people. So I have not been able to fully verify this myself. But that I wanted to get that information out there, just so that you can kind of plan out how you're going to use this feature, or if you want to use this feature at this point. Um, the main thing here is that family group members can exchange resources freely. So there has been a lot of discussion over what this means. A lot of people have taken this to mean that you can either send resources to another account without getting taxed. That's not the case. Some people think that, oh, you can exchange resources, or you can transfer resources up to like the limit in your in your embassy, and you won't get punished by Evony. What I believe this means, and we'll kind of see ultimately what it actually means, based on bans and whatnot, is that between these distinct members, if you're plundering resources, you're not going to be banned for that. There's been a whole number of bans that have happened because people have been plundering resources primarily, and that's in part to stop illegal resource selling, but uh, mostly to attack, that kind of alt resources, and force people to spend money on the game. So we'll ultimately see how this is implemented. There's a whole host of things that this opens up. Like, okay, if someone else uh, plunders your family group, like, are they going to get banned? Is this essentially a way for Evony to ban all other resource plundering and resource trading and stuff like that that are not linked to you by a family group? Who knows? That's kind of what I think, is that they'll allow this very limited amount of resource transfer, but then past that, if you try and like plunder other accounts, like then they have more reasonable cause to ban that account or whatnot. But ultimately, we'll see. So let's get into what you actually how you actually do this. Basically, you go to settings, account, and you see there's this new family group feature here. If you don't have this, update the app. There was an update that was released today that included this. And then here I've already created a family group, but you can create or join a family group, and then you can invite a player, entering the player ID. And then basically they have to accept. So if it's your alt account, you have to go on there and click accept within 24 hours, and then it'll open up another slot. So you basically add them one by one. But yeah, so for me, with for I am VIP 18, what I have seen is that I should be able to create 3 family members here that I can, exchange resources freely. Uh, Strategies for this, obviously, I think there's a bunch of people that are a little bit concerned about, okay, is this just Evony tracking you, and like, are you going to get in trouble for plundering from these accounts? I think no, but ultimately we'll see. Um, and there's a lot of mistrust of anything that Evony announces, of course, and they didn't really explain anything clearly here. So hopefully there's a follow-up mail. Hopefully, there's information that kind of goes out. I have seen a screenshot of a CS message where they said, "Oh, you can't plunder, you can't attack an account to get resources." But ultimately, I I hold as much merit from CS responses as I would, like a 3-year old. Like, they're not well versed in what's actually happening behind the scenes. So uh, we'll ultimately see, but that's kind of my thought process. And so what I'm going to try and do is, once we've kind of confirmed that this feature is legitimate and whatnot, I'm going to essentially link my 3 best family member accounts, and basically stock up resources on those to be able to clean them at a later time. And then, I guess we'll see. I will probably still try to plunder from the non-family group uh, family members, but we'll see. I think there is more of an expectation there that they might be deleted or punished in some way. So ultimately, we'll see. But yeah, I wanted to get this out here. This is, like I said, kind of a long-awaited feature, but also kind of a um, not not exactly what we wanted. We wanted obviously more family members, and them to be a little bit more clear, saying like, hey, if you're plundering from these accounts, you will not be targeted, with a ban, because the bans have been very arbitrary and triggered by certain limits that are not clear and whatnot. So this is kind of hopefully a step in the right direction. But let me know your thoughts. I know there's a lot of mistrust for Evony out there, but let me know your honest thoughts on whether you think this is a good thing, a bad thing, and yeah, I guess we'll move on from there, and I'll try and keep you guys updated as more information comes out. But as always, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.